Hey everybody, hope you are all well. So I'm here today to talk to you about the power of the influence of those around you, okay? So I'm not sure if you've heard this saying before, but the saying is you are the average of the 5 people who you spend the most time with, okay? When I first heard this quote, I was like, oh my God, that is just the most accurate thing that I have ever heard. So the first thing I want to say is, to get started with this whole thing, who are the people that you spend the most time with? Okay, so that's the first question I'm going to ask you. The second question I'm going to ask you is, what do you aspire to be like? Okay, what are your goals? Where do you see yourself in the future? What do you want to do with your life? Okay, really think about that properly. If this is something that you've not really thought about before, like in detail, what I suggest doing is taking some time out, really think about it. Make a list of things which, you want to do in your life in the future. Get it all down on paper and become really clear, because clarity is what is going to get you to your goals or what isn't going to get you to your goals. So you have to be really clear about where you see yourself and what you want to do. Okay, question number 3. Let's go back to those people who you spend the most time with. Do you aspire to be like every single one of those people? Are the people that you're spending the most time with, do you want to be like them? Do you want to be living the life they're living? Do you want to have the same financial situation as them? Do you want to have the relationship that they're in? Look at all of the things which are going on in those people's lives. Is that something which you want in your life? Now, let's go back to the beginning. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, okay? So if you're looking at all these people's lives and you don't want to be where they are, you don't want to be in their financial situation, you don't want to be in their relationship, you do not want to have their personality and attributes, you do not want to have their attitude, then you really need to take a good look at who you're spending time with, okay? And sometimes this can be hard because a lot of the time, the people that we spend the most time with could be obviously, your best friends, maybe your family, your colleagues, etc. But you have the control to, make the decision of who you are actually spending time with. Now, I'm not saying that you cannot spend any time with these people at all, especially, when they're like your oldest friends and, the people that you meet up with regularly, people who maybe live locally to you, who, it's maybe a bit convenient to see them all the time. Maybe they're the people you run into all the time, you go for coffee with, maybe people you see at the gym, like whoever. I'm not saying you don't spend any time with these people, but just be consciously aware of how much time you're spending with those people. Because what happens is, without you even realizing, my favorite topic here, our subconscious mind, without even realizing all of their attributes, all of their attitudes, everything which you don't want to be like will go into your mind. You will start behaving in that way and you will be the same as those people. So let's look at the positive side of things. So if you're spending time with people who you do want to be like, okay, they speak with the attitude that you want, they're motivated, they're inspired, they're ambitious, they're in the relationship of their dreams, which they've, waited for until that right person came along. They have maybe the financial situation you're in, their attitude, their positivity, everything is what you aspire to be like, okay? If that is the case, amazing, you are in the right place, because all of those positive traits, just like the negative traits would, all of those positive traits will rub off on you as well, and you will become the average of those people. So just be aware of who you're spending time with, what kind of conversations are going on around you as well. Like that for me is a massive thing. I'm going to speak on the way that I've grown as a person, okay? So let's rewind, not even like years and years ago, maybe like 3 years ago, okay? 2 years even, 2 or 3 years ago. I would be more than happy, this is like me speaking up here, I would be more than happy having a conversation, talking about some shit TV show that I've been watching, some reality TV show, bitching about what so-and-so was wearing, making judgments on things which have absolutely nothing to do with me, and generally having conversations which are not serving me or my life or my future or my goals, okay? I would have been in that situation. I was in that situation a few years ago. So now, when I spend time with people who are still on that wavelength and who still are having those conversations and thoughts, I'm not there anymore. Like, I am way ahead of that. I've leveled up in like many ways. And I'm not saying that in like, I've leveled up. They've not leveled up. I'm saying that like mentally, I have done a lot of personal work on myself where conversations like that just do not even interest me. Like, if someone starts talking about something to do with what they've read in a magazine or what this celebrity's doing or whatever, I genuinely have no interest. And by all means, they can crack on and talk about that. That's not my place to say what they should or shouldn't talk about. But what I'm saying is, the point I'm making is that I am just not there anymore. So mentally, if something like that is going on, I'm just not there. I zone out. And that is because I have consciously done work on myself. I have consciously distanced myself from people who drain me, who make me not feel good about myself, who talk about things which I find quite negative. I've purposefully distanced myself from those people, and I've spent more time with people who I aspire to be. Now, sometimes this might come in the form of actually spending time alone. If you're somebody who doesn't like their own company, then I really suggest getting stuck into some personal development stuff. I can recommend loads of books, loads of audios, podcasts, YouTube videos, loads of things that are going to really, really help you on that journey. Because until you, kind of going off track here, I tend to do that, but until you are happy within yourself, until you can fully spend time on your own and be happy, you will struggle. You will not find happiness externally. It just won't happen. You will not find happiness in other people. If you ever do that, it will be temporarily, and then you will go back to being unhappy. So you have to nail that personal happiness, and that can be a journey. That can be like a real process, but you will get there as long as you choose to get there. You have to decide that that's what you want to do. So if you being on your own and spending time, you can be on your own and spend time with people who you aspire to be like. By that, I mean listening to audios, reading books, watching things on YouTube, listening to podcasts, all those things. These are ways which you can be on your own, so you can be distancing yourself from that negativity and from those people who you don't want to be like, whilst being alone, yet also aspiring to be like those other people who you might be reading about or listening to, whose views that you do perhaps would, you'd rather be that way. If you have liked this video, if you're watching this on YouTube, please make sure you click like and subscribe to this channel if you have not yet done so. Thank you for watching, and I will be back soon. So if any of you have any questions about that, of course, feel free to come to me. That's what I'm here for. As I've mentioned, I've been on a long journey of personal development, like not long as in years and years and all my life, but I've really kind of dug deep and changed many things about myself. So if anyone, wants to talk about anything or has any questions, or like if you want book recommendations or audio recommendations, whatever, just let me know. But the key thing here is just really, number one, figure out who you want to be, who you want to be like. If there's other people who you aspire to be, we should never compare ourselves to anybody, but we can look at people who we aspire to be like, and we can look at their traits and figure out if that is something that we want for ourselves. So gain that clarity, really, really understand who you are and where you want to be and where you want to be going. Then take a look at those people who you're spending the most time with and figure out if they are who you want to be like.